Hi guys. I don't quite know where you are, but I know a lot of us are going through deep, deep contemplation. I am so overwhelmed by emotion. I cry so much. Especially now, I want to warmly recommend this man's channel. I already showed you that little one that he did with the birdie noises and the picture. He's made a new channel 2 months ago, Return to Cosmic Law. And I'm going to pinch a little bit. I'm sure he doesn't mind me pinching 2 minutes just to get you interested to go over there. And because he needs more views, this is ridiculous. I'm so upset about the fact that we've strayed away from what's natural so badly. I keep being so overwhelmed with emotions over this. This is unbelievable. The more I understand what's going on and what's happened here, the more I get these emotional. I gotta stop it. And I have to try and beat that. I have to get a hold of my emotions because they're dragging me down. They're making me weak. And that doesn't serve anybody. They with this broken civilization that we have, that's pulled us into this commercialism, this dead life, completely separated from our purpose, from nature, from everything. Being told we are born in sin, so instantly telling us, oh, you don't really belong here, you're just schmuck, you're just horrible, you know? Because that's what they're doing. You don't belong here. You are not part of this. You're the alien, right? And to drag people away from natural living into these cities, into these death traps, into these soulless places, because they're completely devoid of any soul. I came across this last night. Now I thought, oh my God, this is it. Here's the golden calf. Let me show you. China, right?
Yeah, it is. There've been multiple instances, though.
I love the overlay.
Yes. See, like it's multiple. It's
Yeah, no, I know.
Huawei has become this like bulwark or whatever.
Religious symbol.
It's like the front lines of nationalism for China.
Yeah.
It is now the thing. And they've loved this release of this Huawei Mate 60. It's been the biggest gift to the nationalists ever. Yeah, they're like, this shows the rest of the world that, China is strong.
This is a shit phone.
Yes.
Sorry, a Huawei Mate 60 Pro.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit. And you've got like this lame...
So you got these people bowing to the phone company, right? So while they're ripping the mickey out of them for bowing to Huawei and the phone, the monolith, like they showed us in Odyssey, it's quite astonishing. It does fit, the square thing. But then when they then show you the cues of these people in front of iPhone, yeah, we're winning the West. You see, our products are better. It is so sick.
Yeah. It's crazy the amount of absolute nonsense that's been coming out. And again, I explained this last time, but the whole point behind these big sort of propaganda campaigns from the shills and the government is basically to tell the rest of the world, hey, if you don't sell your shit to us, we're going to be forced to innovate.
It's not to sell phones.
No.
Because why would an American or a British YouTuber promote a phone that doesn't exist in their own country?
Yeah, can't be sold here.
Why are you promoting this, right?
Yeah, the whole point is they want to try and scare the West into dropping sanctions. Yeah. And they're like, hey...
Warren.
Yep. Now in China, Shanghai's flagship Apple store saw long queues of people picking up their iPhone 15
Yeah.
Excited customers lined up at the main gate of the biggest Apple store in.
There's the golden calf, and it's destroying everything. It's destroying our connection to nature, which is why we don't care when they wreck it. And by them dragging us into the cities and forcing their system upon our ancestors, and then destroying the world in the process and making everywhere shit and dirty. And then they turn around and blame it all on us. Well, it's your fault, ain't it? Look how dirty you are. Look, you're destroying the planet. Look, you're evil. Says so in the Bible. Listen to this, because this is just beautiful, and we need to get this knowledge out. He talks about the netters.
For those of you who are new to the word netters, there are the cosmic laws of the universe, and this is what mainstream Egyptology calls the gods and goddesses of Egypt, which were worshipped and sacrificed to. Well, I don't think so. So just what is this word netter, and why haven't we heard about it? Netter is a word that repeats constantly throughout all the sacred texts, and it describes a divine principle or attribute of God. It is indeed the means by and through which God created the universe. But since it's mentioned so often, the early Egyptologists needed a short substitute to use in their translations. They were also constrained to prove the historical validity of the biblical texts, and anything found to the contrary had to be suppressed or denied, and the worship of idols was clearly heretical. So by translating netters as gods, they got both the short substitute they wanted and a perfectly valid reason to refute the integrity of the entire Egyptian civilization. Bravo. So now we've cleared that hurdle, let's take a look at the spelling of the word netter and see what we can learn from that. The hieroglyphs are another brilliant creation of the Egyptian sages that we will continue to examine throughout this series. And the hieroglyph for netter is an axe. An axe serves to split wood, which is a swift, decisive action that immediately achieves the desired result. As we will see later with the netter atum, it explains the great enigma of how one can become two. The word can also be spelled out using the hieroglyphs that are pronounced NTR, since vowels were not usually written, and this root still survives in Western languages as nature.
So you see where this is going, can't you? And by ideologically pulling us out of the garden and telling us we're schmucks, we're sinners, we're a pain on the neck of this planet, with these misunderstood religions, they've separated us from our root, from our fundamental understanding of what we're here to do as gardeners of the world.
Love is the animating principle of life, and every tiny particle of the universe is vibrating with it. Your body, your skin, your organs, the plants and animals and birds, even the sacred works of art that have been animated by the breath of life. And for the Egyptians, the source for all this energy was Ra. In our modern world, we've lost touch with some of this, because man-made electricity and machines have replaced so many things that used to occur through more natural means. Not that modern technology is bad, but there is no love in its vibration, so its energy is not living. That's why direct contact with nature is so vitalizing. The energy of Ra and all the other netters is constantly vibrating there in the endless expansion of creation. So you see, love, the greatest motivating force of all, was never a god or meant to be worshipped. But its priceless characteristics are worthy of both deep respect and celebration. And learning to use love as a guiding principle is paramount in our daily lives.
And so much of it has made its way in the Bible. Isn't there somewhere this passage that God breathes life into the mouth of Adam or something along those lines?
To read these things correctly, we start with the netter. Most often the netter is offering an ankh to the nose of the king, giving him the breath of life.
You are the king, he explains that here at the beginning.
And this is the critical point. Breath is the gift of life. Every breath that you inhale is the most divine gift you could ever receive. Look at this mirror image of Xenosret face to face with Ptah. What's exchanged here is the breath, directly, without intermediaries. As Ptah breathes out, the king inhales his divine breath, and as the king breathes out, the netter graciously receives it back, creating a flow of divine love in perpetual motion, continuous until the moment of death. Through our breath, we have direct contact with the divine energy of the Creator every moment of our lives, whether we are aware of its miraculous nature or not. When you are aware, you can connect with the netter and begin that continuous flow like the king.
You know, he makes that sound so beautiful. he's he's such a lovely channel. He started off with quite a few views and then sort of trickled off. I don't know. You know how it is. Those sort of things are being pushed away so you don't get notifications and blah, 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 because really they don't want you to know this. My little fox has come back. You know, the fox has given me such trouble over the last weeks, and the one who's came into my bathroom, and I've been doing some more looking at foxes, and yesterday he tried to get a hen. He had one on the back, and as I'm collecting all the hens in, this little thing comes back and comes back despite the dog being there, you know. And I kept thinking, well, what is wrong with this animal? What is wrong with this animal? Well, he's desperate, right? So thin. And with the last strength, he kept pushing forwards despite the dog and the frightening human being there. I'm so fucking upset. I've got him lying in the sheep stable where he found that he slept there, and he kept coming back this afternoon despite the dog being there. One point the dog confronted him, but he didn't bite him either, so they just had this standoff of frightened little fox and dog not really one knowing what to do. And I'm really upset, because I think he's been here for some time. I reckon he's taken most of my 30 hens, you know. And so I was the source of food. Why be frightened, kind of thing, you know, I suppose. and he's come back to die here. And I'm so upset. And yet, 5 days ago, I was there being angry that it took my chickens, you know? I mean, it's so hard. You can't judge. You see, you can't judge. That's what it says. Do not judge. But, like, wouldn't it be nice if we could have a world where nothing has to eat anything else? Where we get energy from some other source? How about manna from heaven? Come on. You know, can we get manna from heaven so this killing stops here? And all this dying, and I'm so upset, that poor little thing. And I put food in front of his nose, and I don't know whether he's too weak to eat it or if he doesn't want, I don't know. I stuck his nose into the egg and into the milk and nothing. So he's come here to die. Because this is where he got his food from. For goodness how long. So, at least I can give him a safe place to die, can't I? And keep the stress away from him. Because can't do anything else. I don't know, why the hell am I like this? You know, there's all this brutality going on out there, and I can't even kill a chicken when it's dying. I tried, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Didn't have the strength. And I made it worse. And I'm thinking about that constantly. And yet there's other people who just take chickens and put them in a meat grinder and think nothing of it. And I can't handle this. I'm sorry. I got completely carried away here. I wanted to share this with you, right? I mean, my connection doesn't seem to be functioning correctly either, because, like, you know, this is nature. And here she is giving me a lesson. He needed to live. That's why he got my chickens. It's nature. So what is my nature? I'll leave the links below.